Last week on the blog, I wrote a post about what I keep in my favorite stick bag. This guy right here from Galaxy. Stick around for the rest of the show, and you'll see how it all fits in there. First, there's the stick bag. I love these round format bags that come out just like this. When they fold out, you can use this as a stick holder, whether you're setting up for a vibe gig or whether you're sitting down right by your floor tom for a drum set gig, whether it's sitting behind you or on a table like this for a timpani gig. It's all right there. You could set your implement on the top like that. It's ready to grab, easy to see whether you're in the dark or whether you're in the light. Of course, with a stick bag, the first thing that you've got in there are sticks. I carry a selection. Drum set sticks, Harvey Mason's from Vic Firth. I love the weight and the feel. Love the tip. I love the durability. A lot of the implements in this stick bag are chosen for durability and feel in combination. Also have a good set of nylons from Vic Firth, 5As. Nice feel, real solid sticks. And a pair of hot rods, or roots as Vic Firth calls them. Adjustable, right? Real specific sound, but sometimes just the right thing. A couple of heritage brushes here from Vic Firth. I always store them end down. Be careful to keep those wires away from your timpani mallets. I once shredded a pair of T1 Generals when I was in a hurry from a drum set gig. On concert, I have 50th anniversary Vic Firth SD2s, wonderful pair of sticks. I love these, especially, if you get into a concert piece and you got to have some rim shots or something. You don't want to tear up your better set of sticks. The SD2s are a great general stick, all around good stick. For finer concert playing, I like a pair of Cooperman's Graham C. Johns, number 1. Love these sticks. They're actually kind of analogous to an SD1 from Vic Firth, but I just like the feel and construction of these Coopermans a lot better. Really fine stick. Rounding out the drumsticks, I do a lot of guest rehearsals, and I keep a pair of Vic Firth Tom Ongst marching drumsticks in my stick bag because they are great. You can see they're well used, well loved. I've had them for a number of years. I've actually preferred in the past the feel of the Ralph Hardiman or the old Scott Johnson stick. But these Tom Ongst, I don't know if it's the thicker taper down to the bead or what it is. I really have had these last a lot longer than most other sticks. They seem to just stick around, and you can blend pretty well with most other stick types. And frankly, you're the instructor. You can demonstrate and play, but if you're playing every lick, you might want to teach your kids how to play those licks. Over the years, after I shredded those T1 Generals, I've ended up with 3 pairs of timpani sticks in my bag. A pair of Ultra Staccatos from Vic Firth, just a really great articulate mallet. They're useful for so many things, whether that's timpani playing, whether that's some multi-percussion stuff, whether it's playing on toms. Generally find these pretty good for that passage in drum set books and musicals that say timpani sticks. Sometimes your staccatos aren't quite hard enough and you need just a little more definition. These are great. I have a pair of T3 staccatos. You notice I don't have any generals anymore. I did shred them, and I generally prefer these. They're a little bit more articulate. I feel like the generals are just a little too soft for my typical thing, and you can see mine need a little bit of a trimming and a little bit of love, but that's one of the reasons they're in this bag and not in my timpani specific bag. I do have stick bags for basically every instrument to specify. I have these no-name sticks that feel great, kind of a cartwheel kind of thing, but they're kind of an articulate cartwheel, and you can see they've got this taper to them that I've always really enjoyed. I found them on a music store shelf for about $10 and have picked them up, and the writing wore off long ago, and I can't remember what they are. If anybody recognizes them, I'd actually like to know and see about the rest of their mallet line, or if they even have the rest of them. The feel is really good. So drop me a line if you happen to know what they are. I've got a selection of mallets as well. So on xylophone, I carry 1 pair of Becker Blues. These are my absolute favorite xylophone mallets. I of course have some harder and some softer mallets in my larger bag that might go on a heavy orchestral gig, but on a general kind of, hey Mark, can you cover? Or hey Mark, can you show up? You know, it's in an hour and I'm away from home. You know, these work out great for xylophone playing. Really enjoy them, love them on those rags too. I have a match set of Vic Firth M142s, and I tend to carry this match set for glockenspiel. A lot of calls seem to have, you know, chords and 3 notes and, you know, multiple notes playing at once when I get those calls, whereas the xylophone I generally get away with just a pair. I keep a set of Robert Van Cise from Vic Firth M112s, just a great feeling mallet, whether that's a general Stevens grip kind of thing, or whether that's for a suspended cymbal or general marimba mallet playing. Really enjoy them. One note, I do tend to sand the ends off. On birch mallets, the finish I just don't like it. So I tend to take the finish off with a little piece of sandpaper right when I get those kind of mallets. I also really love carrying around these Gary Burton's M25s. These are an older generation, and I think that they're a little harder than the new generation, but they work great on vibes. Right? Nice little sounds. They're pretty articulate, but they're also a great general percussion mallet. You can get some nice sounds out of a wood block. Of course, you might go to a rubber mallet if you want a little more clarity or articulation, but for an all-around, this stick bag lives in my car for that emergency kind of thing. These are great mallets to have around. And of course, I love the rattan because of course it's durable. I can't tell you how many times I've been saved by what I call sundries in my stick bag. A lot of people actually think I'm kind of crazy when I talk to them and they're like, well, the band director will have that. Well, what about when they don't? So, for instance, you know, if you're going to a rehearsal, you're going to need some hex keys to fix somebody's carrier that's fallen apart, and I keep them in this, and I've got standard and metric because you never know what you're going to run into. Keep them in this little microphone bag so that I don't lose them. Stick tape, either for sticks or for cord ends, and that's actually why I got the black tape. More for marimba cord, vibraphone cord, xylophone, etc. I like to tape the ends anymore. It goes through the bar a little easier. The gold standard for that is super glue, but super glue does not travel in a stick bag well. Things in the stick bag get moved around, jerked around, and super glue tends to glue itself to other things jerking around. I do still carry a lighter just in case I run out of tape, but I really prefer not to burn the ends of marimba cord anymore because it just results in a big old blob that's really hard to get through the bar itself. That fits right in there. I carry an umbrella for those random times that it's raining and it wasn't when you loaded in and now it is, and you're out of luck if you didn't bring your rain jacket in. I carry a multi-head screwdriver. The heads all fit in this little rubber piece, and then you've got your straight blades and your Phillips head, and they go back in here pretty easily usually, but apparently I was struggling right there, and it fits right on there. I picked that up a long time ago, and I really enjoy it. You can also get some of the bits in here, but I've never actually used that because it's easier just to keep them in the little holder. It fits right down in there. I also carry lithium grease. There are so many times when you get to a rehearsal and somebody can't get a head off or something stuck, and you don't need a lot. You can see that I've had this particular tube since 2003. It's 15 years old. It's still good. It still comes out nice and greasy. I don't want to get it out right now. You do need to clean it up once you get it out. But it's great for those tension rods that are seized up, or when you're trying to clear out something that's been gooped up. It's great for that. I also carry a tuner metronome. Really enjoy this. I do have that on my phone now as well, so this gets less use. But you can see this is a TM40 from Korg. It's pretty beat up. It still does work. Love it. It's got the input for an instrument, headphone jack, and tuner and metronome both. Goes around and is super durable in my case. I carry a tape measure for obvious reasons, if any of you have ever had to quote heads for somebody, and I keep it on this triangle clip, clipped right inside the top of the bag. On top of the bag, I keep some tools really close. I keep a small wrench in the top, a little 6-inch adjustable wrench. Came as a pair that I got it, but and I tend to carry a multi-tool in my pocket by Gerber, something like this. And between the two of those, you can put a lot of things back together. Stick that right in the top of the bag there. A T-key. I love ratchet keys as much as the rest of you guys. They're fun, they're neat. They break, they wear out. T-key never breaks, never wears out. This particular one's from Pearl, and as you can see, it's in great condition. I've had it for about 15 years. I ended up with 2 timpani keys somehow. I do a lot of timpani repair. A lot of band directors don't seem to have the skills there, and actually a lot of new percussion instructors don't seem to be comfortable with that either. And I do tend to prefer the Ludwig keys over the Yamaha keys. Of course, Adams has their own key, which is typically on the drum. Yamaha keys sometimes tend to feel really tight on the tension rods, and I don't know if that's a flaw in the tension rods themselves or the keys I was using, like the particular ones, but I've never had that issue at all with the old Ludwig standard here. I keep a concert snare drum key in my bag as well. I mean, obviously for drums, right? You know, just concert drums in general, but there are so many things that get adjusted, whether that's a bass drum pedal, you know, a memory lock, or a lock on a pedal like the clamp that on a timpani pedal that slows it down a little bit on the bottom. Ludwig standards have that, so that it's these felt pieces that grab the mechanism as it goes by. And you kind of need a key like this. Your T key won't reach. These last items might be one of the most important things in my stick bag. In all of my stick bags, and I have plenty of other ones as well, I keep a pair of Vic Firth high fidelity earplugs. I keep some in my wood shop. I keep some floating around just about everywhere, because we're musicians, and frankly we're percussionists, and our instruments are loud, and their attacks are very or can be very harsh. If you're playing at high volumes, or if you're playing in tight spaces, get some earplugs and protect your hearing. You don't want to end up later in life not able to hear your timpani pitch because you played, you know, Sorcerer's Apprentice with brass mallets for 15 hours a day when you were, you know, young, and you didn't put earplugs in. Be sensible. Or whether, you know, maybe you're playing the latest drum corps book, or you're in a practice room with a 5-piece kit, whatever it is, put your earplugs in, get some high fidelity ones so you can still hear and hear some clarity. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's what's in my favorite stick bag. I love it a lot. One of the other things that I didn't mention is that stick bag, you know, doesn't have very many specialty mallets in it in terms of super high-end, very specific mallets. All of those mallets could be replaced, all of those sticks could be replaced, all those implements could be replaced, mostly by tomorrow or the day after. I don't keep anything too valuable in that stick bag because I do keep it in my car, and it could walk, you know, it could grow legs, it could disappear. So you want things to be easy to replace. And, you know, if I'm thinking of it as a teacher, as somebody that's trying to guide someone in terms of what they should end up with, those are all easy to get a hold of. Some, you know, you might switch something in, something out, that kind of thing. But in general, you tend to need what's in that bag and that bag itself to get through kind of an emergency gig. Something, whether that's performance, whether that's teaching, whether that's maintenance, whether that's fixing something so that your student can actually perform. Maybe that's fixing something so you can perform. And remember, that's kind of what this is all about. Sure, it's the freelance thing, it's the teaching thing, it's the gigging thing, it's the writing thing, whatever. Maybe it's the full-time thing, but it's about having the correct tools and correct skills to get the job done. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. Please check out my music. My sheet music is available at sheetmusicplus.com, as well as on the Note Flight Marketplace. I do have a recording up that's distributed by CD Baby on iTunes and of course on Spotify and all over the place that CD Baby distributes to. And if you like my music, please check them out there, because what you heard in the background, that was all my stuff. So hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next episode.